Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Resti. I'm from 5C class. Here, I will explain you about specifying a purpose and research questions or hypothesis. Purpose statement, research questions, and hypotheses provide critical information to reader about the directions of a research study. They also raise questions that the researcher will answer through the data collection process. In this chapter, you will learn about purpose statement, research questions, and hypotheses, and then how to write them for both quantitative and qualitative research. What are purpose statement, research questions, hypothesis, and objective? The purpose statement is a statement that advances the overall directions or focus for the study. Researchers describe the purpose of a study in one or more succinctly formed sentences. It is used both in quantitative and qualitative research. A qualitative version of this purpose statement, addressing teacher, parents, communications, and student achievement, follows. The purpose of this study is to examine the relationships between use of internet communication between teachers and parents in a Midwestern school district and student achievement on tests in high school social studies. And a qualitative version might be the purpose of this study is to explore parents' stories regarding internet communications with teachers about their student is one Midwestern school district. And the next is research questions. Research questions are questions in quantitative or qualitative research that narrow the purpose statement to specific questions that researchers seek to answer. For example, a quantitative research questions would be: do parent-teacher internet communications affect student performance in the classroom? And for a qualitative research question is: what types of internet experience do parents have with teachers about the performance of the parents' children? And then hypotheses. Hypotheses are statements in quantitative research in which the investigator makes predictions or a conjecture about the outcome of a relationship among attributes or characteristics. Traditionally used is experiments. They serve like research questions to narrow the purpose statement to specific predictions. And then research objective. A research objective is a statement of intent used in quantitative research that specific goals that the investigator plans to achieve in a study. The following represent objectives for a study. For the first one is to describe the frequency of internet communication between parents and teachers regarding the parents' children high school social studies classes. And then to describe the types, categories of internet communication between parents and teachers. And then to relate frequency and B, types of communication to student achievement in the class. Why are these statements and questions important? Because to write good purpose statement and research questions, we will begin with some concepts that you need to know and then establish the building blocks for writing this statement and question into a study. And then specify variable. The following example of variables studied in educational research is leadership style by administration, achievement in science by students, and interpersonal communication skill of counselors. Let's break this definition down for close inspection. And then, how to record data information from individuals in one of two ways. For the first one is ask them to answer a questions on a questionnaire. Example, a student complete survey questions asking about self-esteem. And then observing someone and recording the score on a log or checklist. For example, the researchers observed students playing basketball and recorded score on dribbling technique. And the next material is the family of variables. Type of variable, the dependent variable, independent variables, intervening variables. Dependent variable is an attribute or characteristic that is dependent on or influenced by the independent variable. An independent variable is an attribute or characteristic that influence or affect an outcome or dependent variable. An intervening variable is an attribute or characteristic that stands between the independent variable and the dependent variables and exercise an influence on the dependent variable apart from the independent variable. And the last is theories and testing of variable. To test the theory, the researchers writers a statement of purpose, research questions and hypotheses that advance the predicted relationship. For example, leadership theory can predict that principals use consensus building decision-making style. Their teacher feel more support. I think that's all for me. Thank you for sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.